It's a lot different in America, more noticeable in England. And I'm not saying that this doesn't happen in England, but in America, there's a lot of people that help, a lot of professionals that are in their 50s, 60s, maybe even older. There's a lot of older people that see this as a serious career. In fact, I had a gentleman on the other day. He's in his mid 60s. He was an ex NBA player, very high level fitness trainer, and he's almost like an aspiration because he's a great looking chap. But I suppose you don't see that a lot in fitness centers. You don't see a lot of older people that are inspiration for you to, and also I've been through what happens when you get older. I'm only just starting to realize that that things change when you get into your 50s. But unless you've really been through it, you just don't relate to it. You can't connect. You can't tell the story very well. So I think there's a lack of people in there that can connect and tell a different story. Would you agree? You must see that a lot more than I do.
I 100% agree. We need some testimonials and some advocacy from that age group who said, I didn't, just what you've just said. Nobody told me when you hit 50, it's harder to get out of bed and, and things creak and ache and all the things that you and I are going through. And goodness only knows how that would have ended up had I not joined a class, which I thoroughly enjoy on a, Saturday morning, whatever, and I'm playing what, but, there's another side as well. We've got to be really careful about patronizing that age group as well. We used to cater for it, didn't we? Saying we'd have an over 50s class. When I was working in the leisure centre and I was a rec assistant.
Would you go to an over 50s class?
No, it feels like going on a summer holiday, begins with S and sounds like lager. I just wouldn't do it because it's boxing me out and it feels like I'm being written off. And we call it silver pound and the silver dollar. Stop doing that. That particular demographic is gold to this sector. It really is, because it will prove the point. And that longevity thing, that habit forming or new to it, and it wasn't that tough, and I didn't feel intimidated because it was full of sort of 20 somethings that are all extraordinarily buff and lovely. We just, I just think we can be a bit lazy there, and I think you're right. We need more our imagery. It's not just about poster. We need a poster woman and a poster boy, like your man who you just spoke to and said, hey, I might have been in the NBA, I might have been an extraordinary footballer once upon a time, but I now do it because I've got a hip problem or I don't have a hip. So I've got a real bad back problem, and I've had it for years because of sport, basically. Unless I'm going to the gym, it hurts. Go to the gym, it doesn't, right? So I know that. So we need more of those stories being told. And, the same with the knee. I used to play hockey. My knee's not very good. And so I have to keep moving, and I need a place to do that. I'm telling you to suck eggs, and everybody listening understands the benefits of it.
No, but I think you've hit on something quite interesting, because I think about this a lot. I have a bad back. I have shoulders. It just happens when you do stupid things when you're younger and you end up paying the price. But I also know I've thought about this a lot. I thought, okay, if there was the me that didn't understand health and fitness and didn't work out, I would probably be almost like I'd be a very different person, because I would think, oh, okay, well, because you've got that pain, you can't cure that. That's just now how you are, and that's something you're going to live with for the rest of your life. So you then would accommodate your whole life around this injury, which in some cases can be extremely painful, and you accept it, because the only way I can overcome, I know a lot of these things are very temporary. So if I know how to move and stretch and exercise, etc., then I can get rid of it in like 20 minutes. I'm back to normal. But before that point, it's you could be in a lot of pain, and you could be in a lot of pain for the whole day and the whole week and the whole month. And I just wonder how many people out there are just like that. they're probably a little bit overweight to make that even worse. They're carrying too much weight. They've got all these aches and pains, which means they can't move around. And their trajectory in life, in everything from their work, from their relationships, from their sort of things they do socially, are totally different because they can't do things. And they probably don't know, with some very simple exercise or a good trainer, you can figure that whole thing out. So when you sort of take that to the nth degree, the one option is medical and operate, getting it cut or taking drugs. So the other one is going and just working out. So I think we know that as an industry, but I also sometimes I don't know whether it's whether it hits home hard enough in terms of what is possible if we solve some of those problems.
Yeah, and that would be a really welcome government intervention, is an education campaign that says, there are things you can do. Somebody pretty close to me was pre-diabetic a few years ago, absolutely terrified, in his 60s, thought he was going to lose his job, thought he was going to, all sorts, read too much on the internet, thought his foot was going to be chopped, all sorts of stuff. And what do I do? And I said, okay, if you're going to go on the internet, go and have a look at a diabetic diet. That's the first thing. There's loads of stuff. I mean, go to the Association for Nutrition. They're really good at stuff like that. ACE in the States. But do some exercise. Now, here's a story for you, right? So he said, well, join a gym. Well, yeah, that would be a good start at my age. Right, well, it's only going to get worse if you don't do a bit of exercise. So, yeah. GP's not telling this person this, by the way. Me. So then came back to me, and this is a story, right? This isn't me. This is something that somebody said to me and said, your sector is bloody awful. I know, really? Why? What's happened? So this person went to 3 private gyms. One of them should have been better, but the other were, one-man bands. First problem, park queue. So said he was pre-diabetic, couldn't join. Had to go back to the GP, and the GP is okay. So that bit. Second gym, person didn't listen. The instructor didn't listen and just gave them a standard induction and standard program. And the third one was unmanned. I said, right, okay, let me sort that out for you. I need you to eventually join the gym. Okay, but here's the habit. This guy's got a dog. Watch your dog walk that route. Time it. Don't try and race. Just do your normal walk. Time it. By the end of the month, I want you to have taken 20 seconds off it. Okay, so every day I want you to take a bit more. Yeah, did that. Are you checking with the diet? Yeah, done that. How's your timings doing? Brilliant. Okay, get a rucksack, stick some books in there. 2 weeks after that, stick a bag of flour in there, and on it goes, and try and get to that original time. Tell me how you feel. I feel loads better. I'm sleeping better. The food tastes better, even though I'm not a fan of this diet, but I kind of get it now. I've got more energy, and guess what? My bloods are looking good. So good. How do you want to maintain that? Well, I want to carry on walking. Excellent. Do you want to join a gym? No, I don't want to join a gym. Have you formed a habit? Yes. So, and that person now cycles and will occasionally go to gym if they're in a hotel. Probably use a treadle or bike. So, coming full circle back to what I was talking about earlier, about meeting people where they see we're at. You and I, as fitness professionals, will have been asked, I don't know how many times in our career, particularly older people who are, as old as me, what do you do? I'm in the fitness industry. Oh, I've got a terrible back. You wouldn't happen to know. We're still associated with that. So people understand there is a correlation between fitness, as opposed to fitness, the service or the commodity or whatever, fit and wellness, and feeling better and stronger. So coming back to the brilliant people on the work in our sector, we must meet that obligation. We must meet that expectation. And I think, Matthew, coming full circle again to government and all the rest of it, there's just no point in waiting for people to get us. We're going to have to show people that we're worth getting.